Our next guest is from Wellwise Services Area Agency on Aging, Community Education Coordinator and Social Worker, Martha York. Hi, Martha.
Hi, Bart. Good
Nice
to see you
Yeah,
again.
nice to see you again. You were just at the Irish Festival the other day.
I was. Great event.
I was surprised more people, I don't think anyone actually stood up and danced.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I haven't practiced my jigs lately.
I didn't want to be the first one up. But it was a great time to get together. You know, since the pandemic, it's been slow going to get back together in social situations. And we've been hearing a lot about social isolation and loneliness for older adults. And that could be detrimental to your health.
It absolutely is. And we study this a lot at the Area Agency on Aging, of course. But, you know, we talk with that term of social isolation, which is really that absence of connection with other people, whether that's friends, family, neighbors, or your social community, like we saw each other the other night. But then there can also be that factor of loneliness, and we can be around other people, but still feel terribly lonely, like we're not making that social connection in a way that's meaningful. And what the studies and the data are showing is that this extended period of chronic loneliness and social isolation has led to some major health deficits for people. Cardiovascular disease, obesity, it can help cancer cells grow, it leads to cognitive decline more rapidly, anxiety and depression, of course. We see the mental health facts that go along with that too. But so we know that there's a whole lot of reasons why we want to connect with other people. And some of the data actually shows that being chronically lonely is as detrimental to your health as smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, you know how our moms love to visit with strangers at the grocery store? This is it. For a lot of the seniors, it's their only chance to socialize.
Absolutely. And we lost our skills and our ability with that during the pandemic. You know, for people like me, I kind of liked being by myself a little more often, but I found that I had to really brush up on my social skills. I mean, you have the gift of gab. You get to practice this every single day. And other people that aren't around others, I think we've lost our confidence and our skill set in being able to just chat with others, or we get very nervous. And I think a lot of people have lost their confidence and their ability to just recognize that they're an interesting person. And
yeah, and I think the phones people, I know people, they'll say, don't call me, just text me, you know, and so a lot of people, they're not used to conversations.
Exactly.
So you're starting, you've come up with something new called a Connection Cafe. Is that designed to boost some socialization?
Exactly. That's what we found. We do a 3-year community needs assessment, and the number one problem that older adults and people with disabilities identified in our region is still social isolation and loneliness. And so our Connection Cafe is sort of our response to that. We decided to do a monthly event, and we're having a ball, but I do one topic each month, but I go to different locations, and we facilitate interactive activities so that people can come, they'll hear a topic of interest, but it's very specifically designed that I have interactive icebreakers and conversation starters to get them talking to other people at their table, and kind of a non-threatening and safe environment to come and just start socializing again.
How's it been? Are people coming, and who's typically showing up?
Well, we get a lot of variety of people, older adults, people with disabilities, but what I'm also finding very interesting is I have a lot of widows and people who have lost significant others that come and say, I saw this and I just know I need to get back out again. I need to find a place to meet people and I didn't know where to go. So it's a nice starting point to get them coming through the door, and then what's exciting is they're coming back month after month. We started it in November, and now it's like their little social club, and they look forward to it, and they bring their friends, and they tell their neighbors about it. So it's growing.
So what do you tell someone that might be hesitant? Oh, I don't know anyone there. I don't, you know, it's like something new. They don't want to try it. What's the kick you can give someone to get there?
It's so true that is a phenomenon that we get nervous about even putting our foot in the door. And so what I tell people is just show up. If you just show up, if you get what energy it takes to get out the door and come, we have activities that are facilitated in a way that it's going to be easy for you to chat with others. And the hardest part and the bravest step is just coming through the door. But my aim is that every single person who comes through is going to be greeted warmly, affectionately. They will find that they have an opportunity to share a little bit about themselves and to listen to a little bit about someone else. And it doesn't have to feel like something really awkward, because we do a larger group conversation about whatever the topic of the day is, and we facilitate large group discussions, and then they find that they're laughing or they're commiserating or doing other things that that help them to feel like they made a real connection.
So what are some of these topics that you hit on?
So the first one I started with was Friendship 101. How do we make and keep friends as we get older? And that came out of some older adults I talked to who said, I just don't even know how to make friends anymore. Because when your kids are little, and we just heard from a school principal, right? When your kids are in the same classroom, you can meet other parents that way. And but when you're older and you're not as connected to others, it can be hard. So Friendship 101 was one. We did creating a bucket list, which was really fun. And we've done some more serious topics like caregiver burnout. And this month we're talking about how to improve your sleep. Next month, we're going to be discussing managing anxiety, both in caring for yourself and in caring for others who have anxiety. So we have serious topics and more lighthearted topics. We try to mix it up a little bit.
So the connection, socializing, that's the main benefit. Are there some side benefits that maybe you didn't even realize was going to happen?
Absolutely. So I have a table of resources, and we have staff present who are aging experts. So we call it our Stay Connected table, not just Connection Cafe, but Stay Connected, because my idea is that I want them to know about local events, local opportunities and ways to meet other people and continue socializing. But we also have resources if there's a need for someone that isn't aware of our agency and our community's resources. So we have our intake and referral specialists that we get them in touch with. And we give them information on the local senior centers and their activities and events as well. So I think there's we give them concrete help if there's something that's going on. And people are coming through the door that are in caregiver roles, and they are feeling like, I haven't gotten out of the house, and I've had a spouse with dementia, and I need to figure out how to manage that kind of care. And so we give them resources that are useful.
I've noticed these, I think you had one at Vista Grand Villa and one at the health department. You move them around?
Yes, I try to, I've been putting them at different locations so that it's hopefully accessible for people. So we have, for Jackson County, we do one at our Brooklyn Wellwise services. It's always on the second Wednesday of the month. And at the Jackson County Department on Aging, we are doing one there on the third Monday of the month. I go to Lenawee County and into Hillsdale County for the other locations. But Vista Grand Villa has been generously contributing snacks to our events, and we try to build in either a congregate meal or a lunch box or some sort of a snack so that it's got that cafe feel to it.
Sure, it's Connections Cafe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the first thing I'd say. Where's the food?
Right.
And is there a cost for people to attend this?
Not at all. I mean, there's a suggested donation if there's a meal involved of $3.50 if you're under the age of 60, $2.50 if you're over the age of 60. But we don't turn people away. We don't expect them to have to pay at the door. And we accept walk-ins, anybody. We like to have people call ahead so that we know that we kind of have a head count for our meals and our snacks, but it's not critical. We have lots of walk-ins who come that day.
So no registration, nothing in advance?
Just
and what about, what's the next one?
So the next one is going to be, I'm doing Improving Your Sleep we did that one this week, and I'll finish that out for this month, but for April it will be on managing anxiety.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's great service that you and your team provide at Wellwise. Thanks for coming in and sharing about it.
Thanks for letting me share. I'm excited.
Yeah, always nice to see you. Martha York, Community Education Coordinator and Social Worker with Wellwise Services Area Agency on Aging. Lots more coming up on the show. We've got some celebrations.